Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from It's I Jasper, and he's in the Musashi, a tier 9 Japanese battleship. He's on map Trident. This is a ranked battle with 3 battleships, a cruiser and 2 destroyers. Now he's found his first target, an Izumo, that looks to be coming this way. Now so far the friendlies have sent 3 ships towards A and have 3 ships defending B. Remains to be seen what the enemy does. It looks like they are sending 2 battleships towards A. But we've only seen one of their destroyers so far. Obviously the black is going to be a problem for the friendlies because it has radar. And okay, so the enemy destroyers are sticking together. Now the friendlies do have the cap advantage. That's good news. Now they just have to make sure that they are holding those and not falling behind on ships. So Aetam is coming around here, somewhat broadside. Well, I think it's already decided wants to turn away. Not the best salvo there is. Now he could try to angle against the Aetam, although the Aetam isn't very interested in a Musashi right here. Problem is that the Izumo and the Iwami are still coming this way, and they're probably gonna appear here from the south. So he is staying angled against the potential bigger targets. Now we do see the Izumo. Yeah, I mean the Izumo can't shoot him right now. He has an island here in front of him, while he is still pummeling the Aetam. But the Izumo is definitely arriving, so he's gonna get moving and possibly answer the Izumo, especially since the Izumo looks like it's coming in broadside. Now we do have an Atlantico here, a great brawler. And with the 2 of them together, they should be able to deal with the Izumo. Now the Iwami is potentially still coming this way. Also lost track of the Edinburgh. But, you know, the destroyers aren't here. I mean, Iwami does have torpedoes. Doesn't have the most torpedoes, but it's something to take into account. So, well, decent salvo, no citadels. The Atlantico is turning away, which is a bit questionable, considering that it's a brawling battleship that's relying heavily on its secondaries. And, you know, the Musashi here is also going in towards the enemy. So what the Atlantico should be doing is moving forward. And then the Musashi and the Atlantico should try to potentially, like, go on both flanks of the Izumo, create a crossfire. And of course the Atlantico should keep farming it with its secondaries. Now, the Izumo is coming in there. Musashi can overmatch the nose. The only thing the Izumo can potentially try, I guess, is a ram, but otherwise it's screwed. The Ognivore is also charging in, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, it's way too close already. Usually, and it's still coming off. Usually, you know, if you smoke, you wanna stop and smoke. This Ognivore just keeps, like, the smoke is utterly pointless. It's going nose in towards the Izumo. Right? The smoke did absolutely nothing. Why would you throw away almost all of your health in this? Like, look how low the Izumo is. It's getting farmed by an Atlantico. Good. Okay, the Atlantico is sort of disengaging, and it's getting farmed by the Musashi. So this Ognivore just threw away more than half of its hit points to land like 1 torpedo for 6,000 damage on a ship that was... oh, yeah. It lost way more than half of its hit points. For 1 torpedo, it did about 6,000 damage on a ship that would have died a few seconds afterwards. Great job. Great job. Now, the Atlantico is now in an... not in a very good position in that sense. Atlantico is really slow, right? So it turned around for no reason. Now it's gotta turn all the way around. Well, I mean, it can go forward and then go towards the other side, right? But it would have been so much more helpful if it just pushed in. Now here we see some of the Iwami torps. Not the fastest, but it still looks like one is gonna hit. Also, the Iwami might have turned around and might be trying to torp again, you know, from the other side. So, some decent hits, of course, you know. Being nose in isn't that helpful against the Musashi. I have to admit I have checked the Iwami armor scheme, but I highly doubt it has a icebreaker. So he isn't damage conning the flood because he's aware that there might be more torpedoes incoming. So he wants to keep that for afterwards. Now there is a double fire. Yeah. Now he can damage con, right? If there were torps on the way, he would see them right now. So he's waited until basically the enemy was dead and couldn't set any additional fire or floodings. Meanwhile, the other flank has been destroyed, unfortunately, without taking an enemy with them. I mean, it's 3 versus 4. The friendlies still have the cap advantage, although they're going to lose B now. So the friendlies, I mean, go try to defend B or just push towards C. The enemy team still has 2 destroyers. Here's the thing. Now the Ognivoi could go camp C, which, considering the performance of the Ognivoi so far, is probably the most useful thing he could do. I mean, the Ognivoi took A, right? So we've established the Ognivoi can cap, but its combat performance has been questionable. Stick to capping, probably. Probably a good choice. Anyway, now the Atlantico is unfortunately there all on its own. I mean, maybe the friendlies can at least get some crossfires out of this. So, Seaton is broadside. There is a suspiciously looking smokescreen over there. Now, Edinburgh, Fantask and Black all have torps. Well, even Seaton has torps, so every enemy ship here has torpedoes. Could be a problem. Heal is ready and being used. Now, the Fantask is sort of charging in. Honestly, I would be shooting the Fantask here. Now, sure, he can possibly finish off the Seaton here with this salvo. But the Fantask is getting closer and closer, and that's, yeah, I mean, he did finish off the Seaton, and he probably helped the Atlantico quite a bit. Atlantico has lost an awful lot of hit points on. Anyway, I felt like finishing off the Fantask might have been... Like, the Fantask is a more immediate threat to the Musashi, right? The Seaton was mostly a threat to the Atlantico. Now, thankfully, there was a massive gap in those torps. Also, he has switched to high explosive against the destroyer and then pot shot at the Edinburgh with it. So, not the ideal ammunition choice, but anyway, the Fantask is being dealt with, and it's back to armor piercing against the Edinburgh. Now, there is a Black and an Edinburgh around. I mean, you probably want to death strike the Edinburgh, so armor piercing definitely a choice to go with here. The chance that he's going to see the Black is rather minimal, I guess. Now the Ognivoi is taking the camp, that's ideal, and there is a little bit of lag here that was part of the replay. So nothing done about it. So where do you go from here, right? The friendlies have a nice lead, but what if the enemy just take A? Will the friendlies still win? I would probably turn away here. Now he's being raided, so the enemy knows he is coming. The Edinburgh and the Black both have torpedoes, so this makes this whole thing rather dangerous. There is... I mean, the plane is almost ready. He could use that to get some scouting on top of the island, maybe. But if the enemy is in smoke, it's not gonna do much. Yeah, he's using the plane, hoping to see something. He's slowing down. Now, of course, the problem is that the plane changes the angle in which you shoot. And that's not ideal for close quarters. So we get a little bit of spotting, but the plane is gonna be shot down very quickly. Okay, so he dodged those torps. Points-wise, it's looking very good here. So I would, honestly, I think I would go forward and turn right, and then go look towards the 9-10 line. Yeah, he's being hydroed here. I feel like that minimizes the chance of getting torped, right? Come around here and go this way. Now, the enemy know where he is right now, and they know the course and speed that he is going. The Edinburgh is behind this island here. We don't know where the Black is. The Black could be like sitting here and ready to torpedo. Now, the Ognivoi, why is the Ognivoi spotted? So, there's a hydro going, but there's like, why was it spotted? The radar was earlier. How did the Ognavoy manage that? So I would definitely turn right here now. There might be an issue if the enemy actually contests A. We don't know where the black is. He's currently not spotted. The black could be running for A or B, C, right? So Jasper is going into the B cap in order to win this on the point. Like, the question is, like, how fast could the Edinburgh and the black go into those caps, right? If the Edinburgh and the black just contest the caps before the friendlies reach 1,000 points, then they might be able to win this. Now, Jasper also has the problem that if he wants to use his front guns, he needs to give a little bit of broadside, which makes him more vulnerable to torpedoes. Otherwise, he could just turn and run towards. Honestly, with the current points and A, I would now turn and go 10. Well, here's the Edinburgh almost, though. You also can see the black there. I feel like he's definitely going way too long in the same direction. Here, there is the black. Oh, those are black torps. This is gonna be dicey, yeah. Yep. Well, he didn't quite get... If he sunk the Edinburgh here, it would have been a win. But the enemy is not contesting any of the camps, so the points will soon bring it home for the friendlies. Now he just needs to survive slightly longer. He's getting low. I mean, thankfully, the enemy doesn't have a lot of burst unless there are more torps ready. And the points. Come on, one more tick. One more. Yes! Ah, nice win. So that was a close one in the end. It was a tough spot because the map isn't that big. So if the black and the Edinburgh would have managed to contest both camps, right? Keep in mind, we weren't entirely sure where both of those ships were. If they split up and contest both camps before the friendlies reach 1,000 points, the friendlies have no longer any points gained. There was a lot of time left on the match timer. So if they flip both camps, then the enemies are going to win it on points, right? And by the time he sees both caps being contested, turning around and taking the third cap would have potentially been not enough. So it's hard to say, right? So he definitely decided to contest the last cap and be like, okay, if they don't want to fight, if they go for the caps, he still wins. And it did expose him a bit to the torpedoes, but hey, it all worked out. So nicely done. Nicely done.